Hey everybody, my name is Brandon from thestockstreams.com, and today I want to talk about EHang stock, ticker symbol EH. What I want to do first is I want to dive into Wolfpack Research's allegations of EHang's fraud, which is causing EHang stock to drop over 62% in a single day. And then I want to go into the trading charts to try and find a level or two to buy EHang stock if we want to buy EHang. So now let's get started. So here we are on Google, and here's a one-day look at EHang's chart here. And as you can see, we are down over 62% in the regular session. We see that we are also rebounding slightly in the after hours, up about 20%, but this is a huge move for a rather well-known company. So, the question is, why is EHang down over 62% in just the regular session? If we scroll down here to the news, we see that everybody, of course, is talking about the fraud allegations that Wolfpack Research has made in this short report. So now, let's go straight into Wolfpack Research's report to see exactly what they are talking about when they are making their fraud allegations against EHang. So this is the actual report that Wolfpack Research is making against EHang. And really there are two major points that Wolfpack Research is trying to make in this report, which are EHang's flight certifications and EHang's business deals with a company called Kunxiang. After we talk about these two main points, we'll then talk about who Wolfpack Research really is. So let's first talk about Wolfpack's arguments that EHang is committing fraud because of its flight certifications. We can see here that Wolfpack is arguing that because EHang only has test flight permits in the US, Canada, and Europe, then that is misleading because they are not commercial certifications, only test flight certifications. To me, this is the weakest part of Wolfpack's report. Firstly, EHang's passenger drones and drones in general are in the early test flight stages. If I was mayor of a town in the 1800s and some company came to me with an early prototype of a car that can go 30 miles an hour on a road where we only have horse-drawn carriages at the moment, you think I'm going to give that company commercial rights to speed down the highway and hit a few horses? No way. And I think that this is what governments of the world, like US, Canada, and Europe, are thinking about too, and rightfully so. Like I said in my other video, this technology is new and is still in test mode. I don't want a drone dropping out of the sky in Boston and hitting my rather large head. I do not think that Wolfpack's point of lack of commercial certifications and instead having test flight certifications is cause for fraud allegations, and I do not believe that Wolfpack was correct in the assessment of this part of the report. However, unfortunately, the report does not end there. In the top part of the report here, we see that Wolfpack is really emphasizing that EHang has a business relationship with a company in Shanghai called Kunxiang. Wolfpack is saying that Kunxiang is really just buying up all of EHang stuff to inflate EHang sales, with no real intention to use EHang's products, which thereby constitutes as fraud. Firstly, to analyze this point, we have to make sure that EHang and Kunxiang are actually in business together, because if they are not in business, then that immediately terminates Wolfpack's point. However, from this SEC filing that I found, we see that EHang has agreed to deliver products to Kunxiang, which confirms Wolfpack's initial point here, so that these two companies are in fact working together. But now we have to do some research to see if Kunxiang is an actual company or not, to confirm or deny Wolfpack's second point. For me, this was when things actually got a little bit interesting. I tried my very hardest to Google Kunxiang in Shanghai, and there was literally no results for the company or a website for Kunxiang. I even used Baidu, basically the Google of China, and still was unable to find a website for the company. I encourage you guys to do this, and if you guys are able to find the company or website, please share it with me in the comment section down below, because I was unable to find anything about the company Kunxiang or a website for a company called Kunxiang. So with that said, does that mean that Kunxiang is a fake company, which is the point that Wolfpack is trying to make? Well, because I couldn't find any information on Kunxiang, I couldn't find any information to disprove Wolfpack. But that does not mean that Wolfpack is true. I could not find the information that they are citing to disprove Wolfpack. I could not find the 3 addresses on Kunxiang's website because I couldn't find Kunxiang's website. Because I couldn't prove that Wolfpack was correct either, honestly, this point is still open for debate, and I need more information and time to look into this deeper. However, because I couldn't find Kunxiang's website immediately, that does concern me a little bit. Again, I'm not saying that Wolfpack is correct, but I couldn't prove that they are incorrect either. So after we've talked about the two major points of what's going on with Wolfpack's actual report, let's talk about who Wolfpack actually is. And to do that, we're going to talk about the guy who's running Wolfpack, which is Dan David. Firstly, this article is provided by Muddy Waters Capital, and if we look down here, we see that Muddy Waters Capital is an initial investor in Wolfpack firm. So that's kind of conflict of interest-y, but this is just to get some background on Dan David, so I'm okay with this kind of bad source picking here. So the first point I want to make about Dan David, the guy running Wolfpack, is that he seems to be very focused on taking down fraud in Chinese companies. It looks like he was actually nominee for Congress just a little while ago, and he also made a movie or something where he was the protagonist in something called The China Hustle. So, just an opinion time for a second here. I understand that Mr. David is trying to do a good thing. He's trying to prevent fraud, and I'm for that. I don't think fraud should have a place anywhere, especially in the open markets. However, in my quick research of him, he seems to be targeting specifically Chinese companies. I understand everybody has their niches and everybody has areas where they excel in their work. But sometimes when you want to find something, you often find it when it's not there. There's an inherent bias that you carry that could lead a researcher to confuse bad data with actual data. This happens all the time in science, and I am an actual scientist in my day job, so I know firsthand. You have to be impartial to the data, but when you specifically target Chinese companies with the intent to find fraud, sometimes you'll find fraud when there is fraud, but sometimes you may also find fraud when it's not there. So, back to facts here, just to cover the track record of Mr. David and Wolfpack, there are really two big allegations that they have made recently, one against a company called IQIYI and one called Luckin Coffee. We can see that in the stock charts that they did not really have a large impact on IQIYI stock, and the stock is still relatively stable. I do not see any mention in the aftermath that there was fraud committed. However, Luckin Coffee shows a different story here. We see that when Wolfpack came out with its report, the stock really dropped off a cliff and stayed down. In the aftermath, they did admit to fraud, and they actually declared bankruptcy just last week. So, yes, Wolfpack was correct about Luckin, but that does not mean that Wolfpack is correct about EHang. I've said this many times on the channel, but the past does not predict the future. You have to do your own research to come up with your own conclusions here. Again, this is a short seller's report. They have a vested interest in seeing the stock fall. So do keep in mind when you are researching this. So now, with all that said, what is my opinion? And in my opinion, I'm actually still cautiously bullish on EHang. The company is still in the early phases, and they have other products besides the passenger vehicles. Even if they were inflating numbers on their sales, honestly, I don't even know why they were selling vehicles this early on. I doubt your house or your destination has a helicopter pad, but EHang has a data business and logistics business. They are in a new and emerging field, and if they are not committing fraud, then I see a good long-term story for them. However, right now we are in a risky spot. If more bad news piles onto EHang, or if they are indeed committing fraud, then there could be much more downside for the stock. So with that said, let's head on into the trading charts to see if there's a level or two to buy EHang if we want to buy EHang. So here we are in EHang's trading charts, and as we can see, EHang has really lifted off since the beginning of January here with some massive volatility swings. I mean, some of these candles are like 40 to 50% moves in just single days. And then once we hit a top here, we kind of fell back down to earth once Wolfpack released its report, actually hitting our 50-day moving average, which is this blue line here. So firstly, let's take a look at support levels here. The main support level that I see is where we broke out of from January, around this $25 to $30 level here. We actually closed at a very minor resistance level here, around the $40 to $45 level, where we consolidated really slightly for just a couple of days, and we actually bounced straight back up from it in the post-market hours, and now we're sitting around 55 to 60. However, we are incredibly volatile here. I would not be surprised if we see some big candles here in the next few days that goes into the $30 range. As I said in my previous video, I'm still deciding if I want to go long or not. But I think if EHang goes back down to the $30 to $40 level, then it's worth considering. If you want to step into EHang the next few days, you have to know that we are very volatile right now. You will probably see huge volatility swings. If EHang admits to fraud, then we definitely have a long ways of downside to go. However, we can't really know if EHang did not commit fraud. Right now, the idea is already in people's heads, and the association with EHang and the potential fraud is kind of hard to shake out. Because of that, we may consolidate in this range for some time as investors think about what to do. EHang, of course, could rebound from this 50-day moving average and bounce right back outwards, but qualitatively, to me, I'm not sure if we will see that soon. We may see that once the news blows over, but again, this is just an added risk to the name. So that was my review on EHang stock. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. If you have any questions or if you caught any mistakes, also drop me a comment down below. If you liked the video, please like the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching and I hope you have a great day.